study project. So yeah, let's get right into the next slide, which will be about Sam Elder, who is my participant in this project. So let's dive right into the life of Sam Elder, who is my current roommate. He is 22 years of age. He is a male. He is 6'6" in height. He weighs around 165 to 175 pounds. It kind of fluctuates. His current physical activity level is non-existent. He does not work out on a daily basis, which is very unhealthy. His history, physical activity, however, is existent. He was on the swim team, the water polo team, and cross-country team in high school, so it is existent. He did partake in exercise on a daily basis, but back in high school. He is currently a senior in college now, who does not partake in any of those sports and hasn't in 4 years. His medical history and medications are non-existent. He isn't on any of that. He hasn't had any life-changing surgeries or surgeries at all throughout his entire life. The only risk factors I can really point out are the sedentary lifestyle that he lives, some physical exams that I would like to test him in. I would like to request his blood pressure and heart rate during rest and during exercise. So the next thing I want to talk about are the goals and overall well-being of Sam Elder. As we stated before, his physical activity level is pretty sedentary, but he is a college student, so he does perform minimal exercise in the form of walking around campus for hours each day. Psychologically, there are no diagnosed mental or emotional disabilities to date that I know of, or that he knows of. And the subject is an overall happy individual with a very social life who is surrounded by friends and family at most times. Now, his individual goals for the program, he does want to live a healthier lifestyle, so a better diet and a better workout regimen. He would also like to improve overall muscle mass and be in moderate cardiovascular shape. So our next topic of discussion will be the assessment of Sam Elder. So for aerobic or cardiorespiratory fitness, I would like to use the 9 or 12-minute run test to determine the client's cardiorespiratory fitness. Since he has not participated in vigorous or moderate forms of exercise for quite a while, therefore I think this test would suit him well. He seems to be able to perform minimal to moderate aerobic exercise, so this test will allow him to run as fast as he would like for 12 minutes, and once completed, I will mark his final distance and use the appropriate equation to calculate his VO2 max for his aerobic testing. For muscular strength and endurance, since he is not familiar with free weights, I will not be using the 1 rep max through dynamic tests. I would like to use the static testing mode, considering he's not familiar with dynamic movements. I will use the grip strength endurance testing procedures, the leg strength procedures, and back strength testing procedures. And for the body composition, I would use a 7 skinfold method test, which would be optimal for him since he's not too large and I'm able to use a caliper. This test is easy and accurate to conduct, especially when a skilled professional is on hand. I wouldn't say I'm skilled, but I kind of know what I'm doing. There is no need to go spend money on DXA tests or air displacement tests, considering we are in college and we really don't have that kind of money. Now for functional movement, core stability, and flexibility, for the functional movement, I would like to use the inline lunge just to check out his balance and his squatting formation, see if he can get down low. For core stability, I will put him through a rotary stability test to check and see each side of his core, see if they're at equilibrium. And for flexibility, I will conduct a sit and reach test just to see if he can touch his toes. So we will dive right into the current program assessment for Sam Elder. Now, as we have stated before, he does not partake in consistent exercise, so he has no exercise regimen. But he will occasionally participate in exercise classes, or even go for a run every now and then. But these instances only happen once about every 2 months. They're not too common. Now, for cardiorespiratory fitness, he is not meeting the ACSM recommendations. ACSM recommends that to achieve health benefits, an adult must participate in a minimum of 150 minutes per week of moderate intensity exercise, and he partakes in 0. Now, for muscular strength and endurance, he is also not meeting the recommendations. Now, ACSM recommends that an average adult should participate in at least 30 minutes of low-intensity resistance training 4 to 3 times a week and have 48 hours of rest in between each muscle group. Now, my client doesn't participate in resistance training at the moment and hasn't since high school. Well, I mean, he's gone into the gym maybe once or twice since his college career, but I wouldn't really factor that in. Now, his body composition is in that desirable range for BMI calculations. He's sitting around 18.75%. Now, I would like to increase that up to at least 20 or 21, just because he's right on that edge of the desirable recommendations. He's almost underweight. So let's talk about some program changes I would make to Sam's current exercise regimen. So, since his body composition is a BMI of 18.75, which I said earlier was pretty close to the lower end of desirable, and he also wants to increase his muscle mass, we will throw him into a muscular strength and muscle mass training program for 3 days a week. This will include, his intensity will fall between 60 and 80% during his lifts, with 8 to 12 repetitions for hypertrophy to increase muscle mass. And each workout will consist of 2 to 4 sets for each muscle group. And since he isn't used to lifting with free weights, we will try to increase his strength and body weight with body weight exercises and machines to get him comfortable with lifting weight. And then after a couple of weeks, we'll introduce him to free weights. Now, for functional movement, core stability, and flexibility, since he is so tall, I would like him to have a stronger core, and since tall people are pretty susceptible to lumbar back issues. And the core is known to take away pressure that can be allocated in the lower spine region due to poor posture, which in turn can come from a weak core. Now, by conducting bi-daily core exercises, his core will strengthen due to his current inactive lifestyle. And over time, we will begin to throw in harder movements and such on. Now, since he is not very flexible at the moment and doesn't currently partake in a flexibility regimen, we will have him stretch for 10 minutes a day, not before exercise, not during exercise, but after he's worked out for the day. And for cardiorespiratory fitness, we will have him, I'll suggest that he would run 20 minutes a day at a low moderate level, since he's not used to this physical activity, to where he meets the 150 minute a week cardiorespiratory fitness guidelines. Now, either that or he could run for 30 minutes for any 5 days out of the week, which leaves him 2 days of free time, where he could either throw in a muscular strength and endurance workout without having to do cardio on that day. And he could also replace that 20 to 30-minute run with a fun recreational activity like basketball or even swimming. Throwback to his high school days. Yeah, this will get him up to his current fitness goal that he wants to get up to, which is the be moderately healthy in the cardiorespiratory fitness guidelines. So let's address any issues that Sam might face trying to follow this new workout regimen. So Sam is a busy college student, as we know. He's a full-time college student, so he doesn't have much time for anything else besides his studies and going to class. But he does find time to play video games throughout the day for at least 45 minutes, and then some. Now, by canceling out some video game play and better time management, we should be able to find time to stick this regimen into his daily scheme of things. Now, he does have a gym membership thanks to UTC, which is paid for by his tuition fees, so he doesn't have to worry about money. And I know it will be a big transition from such a sedentary lifestyle, but I trust he will get accustomed pretty quickly. Now, moving on from issues, we can go into the progression of his workout regimen. Now, over time, the body will adapt and make it more of a challenge to progress and see results. And in that case, we would increase the amount of intensity of his workouts, as well as the duration, before increasing the weight, since he's moving from a sedentary lifestyle to more of a lower moderate kind of exercise intensity. So I would increase his cardiorespiratory fitness to 30 minutes of moderate to vigorous training instead of lower to moderate training. Now, I would also increase his resistance training days from 3 days a week to 5 days a week before increasing the weight on him. So we've got to adjust the time and duration of these workouts before increasing actual weight.